Hey guys, in this module we are talking about getting ready for a show and how to get your inventory ready. So the first thing people want to know is how much inventory should they make and how much should they bring. So the answer to that is make as much as you possibly can. You want to make sure that your table looks full. You want to make sure that you have as much as possible and a variety. And I'll be talking about this more, but you don't want to be selling 20 versions of the same thing. So if I make a wire wrapped necklace, I don't want to sell have 5 of these in a row sitting there. I'm going to have either 1 or 2, and then I'm going to have the rest stashed back in my supply box. The reason that I do this, it's just kind of a psychological trick where you are sort of creating a sense of urgency for people, where they're walking by, they only see one, they assume that's all that you have left, and then it makes them want it even more, because I think people are sort of naturally drawn to things that they can't have, and they want that exclusivity. So when I make my jewelry, I'll have maybe 5 of these sitting in my supply box. I just have 1 on display, but I also have a variety of different things on display. So I'll have necklaces that are all different stones, I'll have different types of metal, and I won't just sell necklaces. So I'll sell rings, bracelets, keychains, different lengths of necklaces, earrings, bracelets that wrap around once, bracelets that wrap around several times with beads. So I try to have a lot, even though I'm selling jewelry, it's all jewelry, I'll sell as many different types as I can. One of the mistakes that I've seen people make is that they'll do, one thing, like one guy, he was making these wishing wells made out of wood. And he had a whole bunch sitting there, but they were all the same. There was like 20 of them that were exactly the same. And I don't know if he sold any of them, but if I were him, what I would have done was that I would have had, 2 wishing wells sitting there. And then I also would have had birdhouses, wooden trays. He could have made little dog beds or dog houses, small furniture, maybe some kids' chairs. It would have been all made out of the same materials. It probably would have taken him the same amount of time to make those different things. But when there's a variety, people, they'll come up to your booth, they'll have more stuff to look at, they'll spend more time there checking out all the different things that you have for sale, and it really helps to have a variety. So, and that can go for anything that you're selling. If you do crochet, don't just make hats, do scarves, do gloves, do those leg warmers, headbands, and don't just do all one color. Don't sell like 20 things that are all blue, blue, pink, purple, multicolored. You want to have as much variety as you can. The next thing that people want to know is how much should they sell it for? And this gets really tricky because if you do things like fine art or crochet, it's really hard to pay yourself what you're worth and still make a profit. Like for a scarf, for example, it could take me 3 hours to make it, and I'm only charging 20 to 30, and that's like barely minimum wage, if that. So keep that in mind. The thing that you want to realize when you're selling your products is that it doesn't matter how much you want to sell it for. The only thing that matters is how much people are willing to pay. And you should put your items for sale at the maximum that they are willing to pay. So, an example of that is this necklace that I'm wearing. It's an amethyst wire wrap necklace. I sell it for $20. I also have a keychain that I sell. This is rose quartz, but let's just pretend for the sake that it's amethyst. So I would sell this amethyst keychain for 10. So when I'm making them, it takes me pretty much the exact same amount of time to make them, to do the wire wrapping. The materials cost the same amount of money for me, but I charge double for a necklace than I do for a keychain. The reason for that is that nobody that I have ever met is going to pay $20 for a keychain. A necklace, sure, they'll pay $20, $30 for a necklace, But even $10 for a keychain is kind of pushing it. And I sell keychains all the time. I sell necklaces all the time. And people, so, I mean, honestly, people, when they're buying a wire wrap keychain like this, what they're paying for is the wire wrap stone. And yeah, I've never met anyone who would pay $20 for a keychain. But the reason I sell it is because I want to have variety. So if I just had necklaces out there, people are going to get bored as they're walking around. Oh, okay, yeah, another necklace, and then keep going. But they're saying, oh, cool, a keychain. Oh, cool, a necklace. And some people don't like to wear jewelry, but they still might want to have the crystal. Or maybe they're buying it for a guy. Or for a friend that they don't really know what jewelry they would like, but they know that they like, amethyst or rose quartz. So that's why it's good to have a variety. And it's good to have a lot of different prices. So typically the formula that people use when they're trying to figure out how much to sell their handmade goods are is that you take the price of the materials and you take your hourly rate and you add them together and you multiply it by 2. And that would be your wholesale price. So wholesale is if somebody wanted to order, a whole bunch of necklaces for a store, they would buy it at the wholesale price and then they would charge it at the retail price. And the retail price is usually double the wholesale price. So if my wholesale price was $10, then the retail price would be $20. And every time when I'm doing a show, I always charge the retail price. And something to keep in mind though is that now you know that formula, you can just forget it. And the reason I say that is because of what I said before, is that you want to charge the maximum amount that people are willing to pay. And you can experiment with your prices a little bit. If you have an item that's selling really well and you know you're going to sell it at every fair, try to increase the price a little bit and see if people will still buy it, because you might as well be making more money. There's no reason to shortchange yourself and not make enough money and be earning a wage that is not profitable. So one thing I like to do with my prices, and this is just a personal preference, you can do whatever you want, is that I either have the price ending in a 0 or a 5. And I do this to make it easier for myself. So I'll do 10, 15, 20, 25, $30, whatever. And that's because I do not want to count out change and I don't want to have a bunch of $1 bills. So if something was like $32.55 and someone hands me 20, like forget it, I am not doing that. A lot of people will pay with a card, and we'll go over that in a different section. And still, I just like to keep it simple. I don't know if someone's going to be paying with a card or with cash, so I always do everything ending with a 5 or a 0. And if it's something that, like let's say in my Etsy shop, I would be selling it for $13, in person I'll sell it for $15. I'll just round right up. Something else to keep in mind is sales tax. So again, you can do what you want, but I'm going to tell you what I do. I do not charge people sales tax when I'm selling in person. The reason I don't is because if I have a piece of jewelry that's sitting there and there's a tag on it and it says, okay, necklace $20, someone's going to they're going to grab it, they're going to say, okay, I want to buy this, and they're going to hand me a $20 bill. If I say, oh, okay, let me just calculate that, and then I grab my calculator and on my phone and I say, okay, well, you actually owe me $23.42. They're going to be disappointed, and they're going to, oh, okay, I owe you more money. Okay, like, oh, do I have another $5 bill? I just like to keep things as simple as possible, as easy as possible for my customers. So that means, like I said, ending in a 0 and a 5, and I will also include the price of sales tax in my price. So like I said, if it's something that online I would sell for $13, I'm going to sell it for $15 in person. That includes the sales tax, that includes everything. And that way it just makes things simple and easy for everybody. If somebody is paying with a card, so sometimes, you could get away with adding the sales tax on there because it's not like you have to have a bunch of change and fumbling around and be worried about people, not having enough money with them. You could do that, but I just like to keep it simple. It's the same price all the way, no sales tax. you still have to report it to the government, and we'll go over that in a whole other section about money. But yeah, so do what you want, but I just, the price is the price. The price on the price tag is the price they pay, and I make sure that I pay myself enough. I don't shortchange myself. It's one thing to give a discount if someone's buying multiple things. I might say like, oh, okay, you can pick something else up for free since you've spent so much money. Or, okay, well, if you're not sure, then let's do buy one, get one 50% off. It's totally okay to barter. People expect that a little bit. It's totally okay to negotiate with people. If you want to give something away for free, then do it. I mean, it's all up to you and how you want to run your business. So if you have any questions on this, tag me on Facebook, send me a private message, and we'll go on to the next module.